Hello there, welcome to part 5 session of end-to-end implementation of WordPress site using Amazon services. So far we have completed our part 1, 2, 3 and 4. If you have landed on this video directly, I will request you to go back to part 1, 2, 3, 4 and then come back to this video because it is an end-to-end implementation to launch a WordPress website using Amazon service. In this particular session, I will be focusing on how to configure the WordPress website which we have created so far. It should store the media content in Amazon S3. Now, the reason I told earlier that what is the purpose for storing the media content in S3, because it is much faster to fetch the media content from S3 through content delivery network instead of pulling the media content again and again from the WordPress server. That's the purpose. And I will show the secure way to configure Amazon S3 bucket, how to use content delivery network, how to establish that content delivery network using CloudFront. So let's proceed. In this session, we have a set of tasks we have to complete. First is install WordPress plugin for S3 upload. I'll show you that how to install a WordPress plugin, which is particularly WP Offload Media I will be using. I will install and configure it. I'll show you create IAM user and attach S3 access policy. Also, we will create one S3 bucket and configure the bucket policy. We'll configure the IAM user in the WordPress so that the WordPress can connect to our AWS services. And we have to configure the WP Offload Media. That's the plugin we will be installing for uploading the media content from our WordPress server to S3 bucket. Okay, and the next session there I'll be showing that how to create the CloudFront distribution and publish media content as well as end-to-end testing for that. So let's proceed. As you know that we have our WordPress instance already running, and let's check the website once again, brandonmarket.com. This is also running, and if you have checked part 1, 2, 3, 4 videos, then you know that how we did set up this whole thing. Now let's go back to our AWS console. The first task is we have to install the WordPress plugin for S3 upload. Okay, so we have to log into our WordPress admin, and how we can log in, WP admin. Okay, and I am logged in. Okay, now let's go to this plugin. Let's check installed plugin over here. Click on add new. Here just type WP Offload. You can write the full name as well, but it is okay. WP Offload Media Lite for Amazon S3. I found this plugin nice. That's why only I'm using it. But I'm not advocating it for a particular plugin like this. Okay, if you get the better one, you can use it. But I am in this use case demonstration, I am using this one. So click over the install. Click on activate. And you have got your WP Offload Media Lite installed. And here under settings, you will get the last option as Offload Media Lite. Now see, when I clicked on this Offload Media Lite to configure this plugin, it is asking me to select the storage provider. And it has Amazon S3, DigitalOcean Spaces, and Google Cloud Storage. Okay, since this session is dedicatedly for Amazon services and we will be using Amazon S3, so it is by default selected the first choice. And what we have to do, we have to configure the access keys in wp-config.php. Those who are new to WordPress website, let me tell you that wp-config.php is the configuration file where you do all the configuration steps. Okay, so for us, what we have to do, that we have to create an IAM user in AWS, and we'll configure that user in WordPress server as well, so that the WordPress can connect to our AWS services. And AWS services means we are going to store our media content in S3. So this user should have the policy or role which will allow to store or upload the media content in S3 bucket. So let's go to our AWS console portal, go to IAM. Okay, click on users. Now click on add users. Give a username, suppose WP manager, and give the programmatic access only, because we need the access keys only. Okay, we do not need to log in to the management console. Okay, so it is our username, and just click on next to permission, go to the attach policies over here, and let me give this S3 full access policy attach. Okay, then you can add the key if you want. For now, I'm just clicking on review and create user, and our user has been created. I'm just downloading the CSV. Keep this CSV downloaded. It has the keys, because otherwise you'll not get this option to download this CSV if you lose the access key ID and access key password. Okay, now definitely you should not expose anywhere this access key ID and secret access key. For this session tutorial purpose, you can say this access key, but definitely after this recording, I will be deleting all these users and the access key. Okay, and you should not expose your access key anywhere. And we have this WP manager, the new user has been created. Okay, so what we have done, that we have created a user, assigned the permission for S3 full access. Now let's go and create a bucket in S3. Search for S3 over here. Now under Amazon S3, click create bucket, because we will be creating a new bucket for storing our media files. So let's give the bucket name as WP content AWS tech demo. Select the region. You say I am keeping it at US East. The reason is I have kept the WordPress instance in the same region. Okay, so it's better to keep the S3 also in the same region. Now, for now, initially, to configure that AWS plugin and creating the bucket, okay, I'm allowing the public access, but definitely we will not allow the public access at all. So at the end, I will show you that how you can make it completely private, but using the CloudFront distribution, how you can publish your media content. Okay, but for now, so I'm just clicking over this. I acknowledge this bucket versioning. If you are doing it in production, means if you are doing for a website, business website, which is already in production, then definitely you enable this versioning, and you can add tag over here, and default encryption, I recommend it to add it, and let it this Amazon S3 key selected. Okay, now simply create this bucket, and we have the bucket created, and the bucket name is WP content AWSTG demo. Let me copy this bucket name, because I will need this bucket name later. Okay, now we have this bucket created. Let's go inside that. We don't have any object over here. We check the permission, and I know that we have this public access allowed. We have to add a bucket policy over here. click on edit, and I'm just pasting a bucket policy. Now you will get this bucket policy. I have kept it written on this script, what the link I will share in the description box. So add S3 bucket policy, and you will see, you will directly copy this and put it over here. Okay, now here is the bucket name it is showing. So what is our bucket name? Just copy this bucket name over here. Make sure you don't have the space or any typo. Now I'm just keeping it copied only. Yes, and now click on save change, and our bucket policy has been saved. Okay, now let's go back to our Offload Media, that plugin where we have created, which we installed under our WordPress website. Here, and what we have to do, we have to configure the WP config, because so far we have created that IAM user and we have the access keys. So now we have to configure over here. Now ask yourself that where we can get this wp-config.php. Let me tell you that let's go to our light cell here, click on the terminal, because we have to log in into that instance, right? Okay, now here we have to go to that location where WordPress is installed, and for that go to this location, which is under opt/bitnami. Okay, before that just check where are you. It is under home bitnami, so we have to move out from this location, and now we are at the root. Perfect. Now go to the opt bitnami WordPress, click enter and do ls over here, and you see that all the WordPress contents are over here. So we have this wp-config.php, so I am using the vi editor, wp-config.php, and we are here. And if you scroll down, you will see all the credentials are over here. Definitely it is showing the credentials, and after recording I will delete the whole instance, so it doesn't matter for me for the security purpose. But definitely when you are using, you should not expose any of these credentials. Okay, so we have to add something over here so that the WordPress can connect to our Amazon S3 bucket, and that's the reason we have to copy few lines of code. Let me take you to this script once again. On this step where it says that configure AWS credential in WordPress wp-config.php. Okay, so here either you have to copy these two lines of code, which is code option 1, or code option 2, which is this code, and you have to just replace this asterisk with the actual access key ID and the secret access key which you created by the new IAM user. Okay, so the easier one is what I find it, that you just copy these two lines. I'm using this code as option 1, and let me tell you one more thing, that this is the attention part, where any misconfiguration or typo in this step can break your website, WordPress website. Okay, so make sure you have a backup copy of your wp config.php. Before you start editing, you should have that backup copy, and if something breaks, you just replace with the backup copy. Okay, it is very important when you are updating wp config, because wp config is the configuration file for your WordPress site. Okay, so as you see, all the defines are over here written. So what I will do, I am just inserting those two here. Okay, now I will be just replacing this asterisk with the actual access key ID and secret access key, and we'll save the file and done. So what I did, I just replaced the asterisk with the actual access key ID and secret access key, and I saved the wp-config.php. Okay, I'm done. Just minimizing it. Now let's go back to our this WordPress admin portal. Okay, so what I'm doing, just I'm refreshing over it. I refreshed. Why did I refresh? It means that the configuration I did, the 2 lines of code which I added in wp config, okay, I didn't have any typo. If you have any typo or something, it will just break your site. You will not get this portal back. Means your refresh will not work. Okay, now again go to the Offload Media Lite under settings. Here you add your existing bucket name. So it is asking for the existing bucket name. Let me copy the existing bucket name once more. Or you can copy it from there directly, put it, or browse existing bucket name. And it's saying some error when fetching the buckets, and it says that 403 forbidden. So let's go back to our IAM and check what happened and the bucket policy over here. Okay, so let's come to the bucket policy first. So what we did, that let's click over here and make it get star. Okay, so let me save it. Let's go back to this. And it's showing all the buckets over here. So what I did basically, that I went to this bucket policy and it was get objects. So when it is actually fetching the S3 buckets, is using get buckets or list buckets. Okay, so when I added this asterisk after get, so it allowed more actions, and under that, whatever the action or privilege the WordPress was expecting, it has got the WP content AWS demo from here and save selected buckets. Now once it selected the buckets, you see the screen over here, and it has identified that what is the region and all. Okay, and it will show you that what is the path it will use in your S3 bucket to keep all this uploaded media file. That's fine. So initially we are almost done with this thing, configuration or of Offload Media. Let me emphasize on this. It is not a very SEO friendly URL. The reason is, you see that it is showing WP content, this demo. When you are thinking about SEO of your website, of your WordPress website, definitely it is not a good URL which will help you in the SEO. So how can you fix that? Let me show you the how can you fix that. And here comes the CDN or the content delivery network or CloudFront distribution. Okay, so in next session I will show you that how can you create that CloudFront distribution, publish your media files, and finally end-to-end testing by uploading some content and how it looks. Thank you for attending this session. If you have any query, please write in the comment box below. And again, if you are the new visitor for our AWS Tech Guide community, please visit our AWS YouTube channel for other AWS services tutorials, and you visit our awstechguide.com and check the join us and the projects we do for open source or any sponsored kind of project. If you want the code, you can visit our AWS Tech Guide Git repository. You will get lot of ready-made code over here. You can go to the scripts, and under that you have starting from the Angular, Ansible, AWS, Docker, Git, your WordPress, which we are doing this demonstration. You will get lot of scripts, code, ready-made available for your purpose. Okay. Now, one more thing is that I am also an Udemy instructor, and I have a course over here that is AWS CI/CD automation complete reference for production ready system. Okay, and if you find this, I will share this link in the video description, and you will see that what you will learn from here. You will learn lot of things from end-to-end perspective of AWS CI/CD automation, starting from code commit, how to create the Artifactory ECS cluster, automate the CI/CD flow, code deploy, hands-on experience, and actual production scenario, ECS rolling update, how you can use EKS labs, multiple assignments. You will get the how you can route the traffic from the load balancer, code pipeline, ECR, code guru, and blue green deployment using the code deploy lab. All these things. So if you are interested, please check out this Udemy course also. Again, thank you for attending this session. See you in our next session. Thank you.